Leaders become great not because of their power, but because of their ability to empower others. By John Maxwell. This is one of my favorite quotes. Well, leadership is a quality that is often shrouded in mystery. Even with all the necessary skills, experience, potential, and qualifications, we may struggle in a leadership role. Hello, everyone. I'm Richa. I'm a leadership coach at Mindspring based out of Gurgaon. And today I'm going to talk to you about how to be a strong leader during lockdown. What does leadership lead to, and why is it so important? You can say a lot of things like better synergies within teams, increased productivity, increased team morale, improved ability to work under pressure, increased innovation and creativity, um, dependable and reliable workforce, etc. etc. Right? Anything else? Well, you may be able to think of a lot of things, but the biggest challenge leaders are facing today is that they do not have the luxury of time. They have to be very smart and they have to be very quick. They have an immense immediate responsibility for keeping their teams as engaged and productive as possible while maintaining a safe, cohesive, and collaborative environment which offers some protection from a very uncertain future. I'm currently working with executive leaders and their teams, helping them transform smoothly. And what I truly feel is that COVID 19 can really be used as a great test case for leadership. So, what do you think a leader should be focused on in the midst of a global disruption? Some of the points that I can think of are: first, categorize your employees and offer quick help. So, there are a few categories of employees that I can think of. Okay, some of these categories are empaths. So, this is the first group, and they are naturally very high in empathy, making them great co-workers. But they also carry very high levels of stress, and therefore a very higher risk of anxiety and depression, leaving them prone to burnout and absenteeism. So you definitely need to offer them help with emotion control skills. The second group are of go getters. So, go getters are basically people who want to do it all. But as they are highly agile, they are resilient, they also have high levels of work life conflict that are a drag on their full potential. So, they need help uncovering their inner conflicts that fuel their inner management stress. The third group is that of extroverts. Now, extroverts are people who generally derive their energy from other people. And without the buzz of the office, extrovert personality types may be mentally struggling a lot in isolation. Then there is a group of people who are really afraid of change. So, those who are wired to be fearful of change may be finding productivity a challenge with all the new technologies to learn and new routines to forge. So, if being a leader, if your budget allows, please consider offering help to these people through therapy, psychotherapy, business coaching, or maybe peer mentoring and support. It would go a long way in building a loyal employee. The next point is follow a non binary approach of problem solving. So, if there is a problem, the solutions are not always in black or white, or do it or don't do it. For example, it can't be something like I hate you or I love you. Uh, I hate going to office, so I'll just leave this job. It can't happen like that. So if you just being leaders, if you can just think out of the box, you may be able to find a lot of solutions except just being binary about your approach of finding solutions. So you may be faced with a tough decision of whether to fire people and lose out on talent, or to keep people but risk your margins. But there are more options. These are not the only two options. The more options can be something like reducing full-time work to 80% for a portion of the workforce, or keeping the salary of 25% or 10% salary of your workforce on hold until the time company gets back in profit. So getting teams together to be creative and non-binary about solving the rash of problems that crop up in a crisis can create lasting cohesion. Okay, the next point is simple communication. So please keep your communication with your teams very honest, very empathetic, transparent, because this is the era of very quick or very rapid dissemination of information. And by the time this information reaches your team or your employees, it may become a Chinese whisper. So you don't want that to happen. You want to communicate the right thing to your people at the right time. So you may want to follow a 10 by 10 by 10 rule over here, which means that say something 10 times in 10 different ways for people to retain at least 10%. Next point is engage everyone in the future. So at the moment, everybody is really stuck in the now. What is happening, everything is so uncertain. There is so much of a scary situation out there. What should we do? So we need to divert these thoughts of fear from the now to thoughts of something constructive in future. So give out questions to your people, like think about how the business evolves in post COVID-19 world. So quickly their thought pattern changes from fear to something constructive and productive. Okay, the next point is be sensitive to people who are fearful of change. So there are change really activates a threat circuitry in our minds, and feelings of uncertainty or the unknown expose worries about failure or rejection or criticism. So help workers identify and recognize these core emotions. So study shows that individuals cope better with change if they are clear about the value it brings. So promote the benefits of home working, as well as reminding employees why it is necessary to stay inside and safeguard the health of their loved ones. Last but not the least, in fact, very interesting point is write down the stories. So collect stories of teams coming together to overcome the adversity caused by COVID-19. People are really capable of doing amazing things in the time of crisis, and you must capture the details of these stories. Don't summarize them. So if Ankita and Arushi from the IT team were up until 5 a.m. in their respective home offices, only to ensure that the VPN system is always up and running for hundreds of employees, and between them they drank 17 cups of coffee included. Okay, so humans respond to the detail of the story. You can really use these stories at a later stage to inspire and motivate your employees. uh, this pandemic has perhaps entered the lives of leaders with a silver lining. It represents the opportunity for leaders to create more team cohesion and innovation in the face of adversity. Remember one thing, that anyone can lead when the plan is working, but the best lead when the plan falls apart. Thanks a lot for watching, and this is Richa signing off for today, and I'll see you again very soon. Until then, keep leading, innovating, and definitely keep inspiring. Goodbye.